Sound financial management is an expectation of all recognized student organizations at UW-Whitewater. There are many methods to choose from for your organization to organize or store your funding. The three options listed here are the most viable ones. The first option, a student faculty account, is held in the cashier's office of Higher Hall. The cashier's office considers this an in-out account, which means that the student organization would visit the cashier's office in Higher Hall to request a check be cut. The check can be an estimate of expense, in which case the group would then return any remaining cash as well as receipts. It's a way for them to help you make sure that if there is sales tax needed, that you are paying the sales tax to the state, as well as having documentation of expenditures as you go. When you have a student faculty account, you are under the university's employee identification number, so you do not have to apply for a separate one for your organization. You can use the university's tax-exempt status on any purchases or fundraising dollars that go in and out of your student faculty account. Another option would be working with a bank or credit union for checking or savings or both. There are some conveniences to going this route, debit cards or credit cards being one of them. Having your own checkbook and way to make payments on your own time frame are nice conveniences of having this option. There are some negatives to consider as well. The first is that any name on the checking or savings accounts has to have a high enough credit score that they would be able to have a personal account at that financial institution. The second is that when you apply for a checking or savings account, you do have to apply for an employee identification number. It's a free online process and it does not take long, but you would have to submit your personal social security number and attach it to the account for the life of the account, which means that when you graduate and are no longer here, your social security number and your responsibility in a legal sense is still connected to that organization, even though you may no longer be present. A third option that is available to eligible organizations are segregated university fees. For information about eligibility, you can check the SUFAC website at uww.edu/SUFAC, S-U-F-A-C. Segregated fees are fees that all students pay. There is a process that happens each fall where the money is allocated to different student organizations on campus that serve a greater campus purpose and fill a need that isn't filled by anyone else on campus. Nonprofit status is something that a lot of organizations ask about, so we wanted to share what that is and how to figure out if you have it or not. It is also called 501c3 status or not-for-profit status. Groups may be eligible for your own non-for-profit status based on your purpose and mission. If that's the case, you would need to apply for it through the state of Wisconsin's website. Groups with money in a student faculty account or a SUF-org account that's segregated university fees may be able to use the university's tax-exempt certificate and code. In this case, you wouldn't need to apply for your own exemption because the money is going through the university's account and the university is a tax-exempt entity. When talking about money, it's always important to remember to pay your bills in a timely fashion. Beyond possible legal issues for non-payment, being turned into collections, and so forth, you also risk losing your organization's recognized status because it is a student organization conduct issue. When discussing finances and financial responsibility, we also want to mention a few details about contracts, third-party vendors, and licensing. A contract is an agreement between two or more parties and can be verbal or in writing. We encourage student orgs, whenever possible, to have something in writing that relates to how and when a service is going to be provided. This service could be a speaker coming to campus, a coach working with your team for the season, or a service being provided such as renting a bus or a dunk tank for your fundraiser. A contract should be signed and only signed by someone who is eligible to on behalf of the university. There are 2 staff members in Career and Leadership Development who are eligible to do so, and so we ask that you bring contracts in for us to review. We will review the contract to confirm that it is a fair contract for you and them, and then sign it on behalf of the university. Student organization officers and members are not eligible to sign contracts on behalf of their organization because it is also seen as contracting on behalf to the university. A third-party vendor is somebody you would contract to bring to campus or to work with in order to reduce your liability. Most typically on campus, we see third-party vendors in relation to events where alcohol is served or where transportation is involved. So, a third-party vendor, for example, would be a bus company that provides transportation for your group. People could provide their own transportation, but by using a third-party vendor and paying the bus company, you're reducing the liability of the parties attending. The same would go for an event where alcohol is served. Rather than having your members purchase and check IDs and serve alcohol, it would reduce your liability significantly to have the event at a location where there are licensed bartenders and liability insurance, as well as a staff that knows how to check IDs and make sure overconsumption does not happen. Third-party vendors are not the cheapest way to go, but they significantly reduce the risk of things like foodborne illness and legal issues if something bad were to happen. The UW-Whitewater Licensing and Trademark Agreement is a statement that says student organizations can use the university's name and logo, likeness, and images. To use them, however, you have to do 2 things. 1, you have to use them appropriately. The Trademark and Licensing Agreement goes over what the appropriate steps are and how it can be used. And 2, you will have to work with a company that has the right to print things on behalf of the university. They are going to help make sure that anything you produce is something you will actually be able to sell or give away once it's created. Please note that this agreement has to be completed whether you are selling an item or not. If you are giving an item with the university's name, logo, or other images away, it still has to be approved before having it created. Movie licensing is something that student organizations struggle with because we are always seeking ways to be social with our members. It's important to know that most movie makers have sold the movie rights to companies like Swank Motion Pictures. Their business is to make money off of the use of the movies they own. So some are independent, and you'll find them directly by searching for them online, but many go through a few companies here in the United States and abroad. If you are interested in showing a movie, you'll need to confirm that there are no rights to purchase, which in this case, for some small films and educational documentaries, or you'll need to purchase the rights to show the film. Whether you're charging admission fees or not, whether the showing is for a meeting, a social gathering, a fundraiser, or something larger, if you are showing the film in any public space, you are going to have to purchase those rights, and you'll want to talk to someone who can help you through the process. The best resource that you have on campus is Michelle Phillip. She's a University Center employee. She works with the UC entertainment team, and a big part of her job is to help students select and bring movies to campus. She may be able to find you a discount as part of the overall contracts that she has. And at the very least, she'll be able to help you process how to go about purchasing the rights to showing a movie and bringing it to campus.